Records everything going on the PC.
Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Bros here with a video about the upcoming changes in the Sandbox for the new DLC Beyond Light. Um, this information has been out for about a week or maybe more, I'm not sure, give or take a week. Basically, in the TWAB, they talked about the changes coming to the Sandbox, the hand cannons and the auto rifles and the snipers and stuff like that. And the reason that I'm making this video a week late is because I'm extremely passionate about what I do for a living in Destiny. And when I was reading the TWAB, I got
Come on.
down to there's a
Look at
part
these snipes, man.
where they are, I'm sure everybody knows this by now,
Come on, man.
but they're just getting rid of 150 hand cannons completely. So I get to that
Woo!
part of the TWAB and I just stop reading it. I just
Bro,
close the
slapping
TWAB
cheeks,
out,
man.
and I'm extremely infuriated, extremely frustrated because I just don't know how. At the point when I was reading, I just don't know how hand cannons, for some reason, no matter what the update is, they will always be what I like to say nerfed. Um, now it's debatable because they're gonna be giving hand cannons a little bit more range and stuff like that, but just deleting a whole archetype of hand cannons is, at the time I thought it was absolutely ridiculous, and I started reading the Schwab and I was like, you know what, I just give up. I give up caring and this, that, and the other. So I didn't want to make the video then when I was in that state of mind because I was extremely upset, man. I just couldn't
Saucing
believe
these
that
boys,
that's what
man.
they were focused on was hand cannons when I mean, you know, as a console player that plays Trials and just plays PvP, you don't even see hand cannons anymore, man. Hand cannons, you see the guy that people complain about with the Mindbenders and the Dire, who's just good at the game, who's just sweat. Um, and people complain because they're not necessarily using a hand cannon, but because they're sweaty. Because if that sweaty player used the Suros in a sidearm, I guarantee you it'd be worse. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I wanted to wait to make the video that I had some time to process it and think it over, which I have. So I'm just gonna skim through these notes really quick and then give you guys my opinion after a week of sitting on this information. So the dev team says hello, and then the paragraph on the top, basically summarizing what they're gonna do, and then in detail they go into hand cannons. It says hand cannons. We're making changes to give hand cannon subfamilies more diversity and more reasons to use each. First archetype is aggressive. Increased rate of fire from 110 to 120. Broke out aggressive hand cannons, allowing custom tuning stats. Damage fall off for 100 range in this subfamily now starts at 32 meters. Then they go into adaptive and precision. Range stat now has more impact on minimum damage fall off range for both archetypes. Damage fall off for 100 range now starts at 25 meters, was 20 meters. Precision hand cannon, 180 rate of fire. Magazine scaled up by 37%. Note, this
I mean,
also
just
affects exotics
bam,
with
bam,
that
bam,
rate of
bam,
fire.
bam.
Lightweight frames
Snipes sound like
folded
knocking on your
into
door, man.
adaptive. Moved all lightweight hand cannons 150 ROF
Whew.
to the adaptive subfamily
That
140
was some
ROF.
gameplay right there, man.
This includes
Ooh,
Luna Howe
we didn't wipe
and
on the
Not
off
Forgotten.
a single time.
One exotic hand cannon will retain 150 ROF, and basically it's going to be Sunshot, guys. So they go on to say, at this time, lightweight hand cannons represent the majority of hand cannon uses in the Crucible, while we experimented with many different ways to even out lightweights and adaptives. Lightweight hand cannons consistently retain a faster time to kill. As such, we opted to equalize their rate of fire. We selected 140 rate of fire, as it is fairly balanced in the Crucible sandbox. It gives other weapon archetypes more time to breathe between shots, avoids an overabundance of hand cannons with faster TTK than other weapons, and pairs nicely with upcoming changes to 600 rate of fire auto rifles. Then they go on to talk about snipers. We want sniper rifles to feel powerful without being so easy to use that they dominate. Adjusted how aim assisted is affected by sniper zoom level. Lower zoom scopes have less aim assist. Higher zoom scopes have more. Scopes at around 50 zoom are unchanged. Lowest zoom scopes have a large reduction in aim assist cone angle, and then highest zoom scopes have a small increase. Auto rifles. In Season
Congratulations
of
on
the
the
Worthy, the
grind.
adaptive archetype was given a buff. We're pulling that back a little to keep it in check with the other auto rifle archetypes. Adaptive. Damage per bullet reduced from 15.75 to 14.25. Note, prior to Season of the Worthy, damage per bullet was
Yes, sir.
13.75. They're touching scout rifles, giving
You
it a
still
little
playing
bit better
Overwatch?
aim
I
assist.
stopped.
Rocket launchers, giving it a
Oh,
little
is he
bit more
flying at me?
ammo.
He's not. Thank God.
Now, that is all I want to get into. I mean, below this, they nerfing Mountaintop. They're doing a few things with a few other guns, but I just want to talk in general because then I'm gonna make a 30-minute video about the changes that I just read.
No.
The first thing that I want to talk about is
It's
the
got
new
me
120 RPM hand cannon, like the Duke MK, the hard-hitting X110 hand cannons with a bunch of range and a bunch of damage, but they just shot so slow, man, that they were basically ineffective unless you peak shot with them. I really have no idea how these are gonna play. I just really don't have an opinion on them. I think it could go either way. I think there's like two possibilities and no in between. I think they're gonna be either really good or the same that they are now.
You got heavy?
Because I'm not sure that a 120 is that much more different from a 110, the way that Destiny's set up with the time to kills. But they'll be the most forgiving hand cannon, obviously, because you don't need all headshots. Because basically 140s and 180s, you need all headshots to optimize time to kill. This here will give you the ability to get a body shot in there, maybe even two body shots, and from a far range. So this could actually, this could actually be really good. I could see 120s potentially becoming meta. I think that's likely, probably not. But like I say, I just really have no idea how these are gonna play, to be completely honest. So I'm a little curious. I wouldn't say I'm excited, but I'm a little curious. But then the next thing, the biggest thing that really upset me was them getting rid of 150s.
Damn, it hit somebody, but it didn't kill him.
I don't understand what Bungie's obsession is with ruining hand cannons. I just really don't. Hand cannons are the reason Destiny is what it is. No matter what your favorite archetype is, no one can deny the strength alone of the Thorn, the Last Word, and the Hawk Wound in Destiny 1. Those three guns, in my opinion, and in many opinions, like the people that really know their Destiny, propelled the game to another level and made Destiny as popular as it was, and hand cannon play was what made Destiny what it is. It always had great weapons, it always had good autos and pulses, but hand cannons were the bread and butter. I mean, even in PvE, right? Like Fatebringer was the go-to PvE weapon. People loved, even casual players used hand cannons in D1. Different time, I know. But ever since year one of D1, hand cannons have been on a constant decline, non-stop. You hardly ever see hand cannons get better. They start out in a place, and then they just get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. I mean, you see the Not Forgotten. It's basically going to be turned into a 140. I don't even know if the thing's going to be usable anymore, but I guess because it won't have any recoil, it'll be easier to use than other 140s. But I mean, I can't believe that Not Forgotten in Luna's House is getting another nerf when it's basically not used by anybody. I think they should have maybe kept those 150s.
That should have been claps.
We'll have Sunshot as the only 150 in the game, so I'm assuming that will be the most popular hand cannon, the most used hand cannon, the quote unquote meta of hand cannons. But yeah, I don't understand them getting rid of 150s. I think it's a terrible move unless they're gonna butcher auto rifles, which I don't think they're doing. I don't think auto rifles are getting hard enough personally. I don't think they should have necessarily messed with the time to kill on auto rifles. I think that they need to mess with the range and the stability. And when somebody's like 25, 30 meters away, the auto rifle needs to, shoot all over the place, not just be a complete laser. And up close, auto rifles should melt. Up close to close mid range, I feel like if you get in a gunfight with auto rifle, they should tear you apart, kind of like a sidearm. But when auto rifles are outgunning pulse rifles and hand cannons, have absolutely no chance at mid to long range. I don't understand, man. Like, why are auto rifles outgunning all the precision weapons in the game from precision weapon ranges? So I guess what I'm upset is 150s were the only hand cannons that actually, in my opinion, had a shot of beating an auto rifle, and now they're taking away and giving us just slower hand cannons. So I mean, yeah, we're nerfing autos, they said, but I mean, come on, man. I'm not a fool. Auto rifles are not getting nearly as tuned as they should be, in my opinion. But for some reason, we're gonna get rid of a whole archetype of hand cannon. And if you looked at, I mean, outside of PC, I'm a console player, so I'm talking about console. I mean, I've been playing Trials for the past 3-4 months. pretty
Oh!
regularly. Not as much as I used to, but I mean,
Titans ain't no
I would never die to
joke.
dire. I would never die to spare rations. I would never die to these weapons anymore. It was always a sidearm or an auto rifle. But for some reason, we're gonna delete 150s. It always takes me back to I think Bungie only tunes this game for PC. I don't think they ever tune the game with console in mind. It makes me sad, but that's the reality. I think, PC is just a better version. They care about taking care of that, and then they just give us, whatever PC needs. And it doesn't seem to work well at all on console. I'm hoping PS5 will be a lot different because PS5 will play, and the Xbox will play a lot more like PC because of the FOV slider and stuff. So hopefully the balancing
Got
will
him.
fit both a lot better. But through the time, and there's no way that they would ever get rid of 150s if PC wasn't a thing. But because PC is a thing, and that's they're so popular on PC because they're better on PC, they're just gonna delete them all, which I think is ridiculous. But on the flip side, like I said, I had a week to think about it. It makes me realize that this could be a good decision because I'm a Hawkmoon fanatic. Super excited Hawkmoon coming back. And if Hawkmoon was to come into this meta, it would get shredded. It wouldn't even be usable because 150s just do dominate all hand cannons. But the thing about 150s is they don't dominate other weapon types. They just dominate in the hand cannon subfamily. So, that's the silver lining for me, man. If every hand cannon is a 140 outside of one, which is this, Sunshot, Hawkmoon will have a place. Hawkmoon may potentially be the best hand cannon in the game, which would make nothing would make me happier if Hawkmoon became king of hand cannons. That would be amazing. But then, even if it was king of hand cannons, could it compete with autos and all these other things? We don't know. Um, so I'm slightly upset, but at the same time, I'm kind of like I just
Oh
instead of
shit!
being extremely upset and ranting and this and that, I'm just gonna see how it plays. I'm gonna see how it plays. They definitely did not do enough for me with other weapons. I wanted Arbalest nerfed. I wanted Bastion nerfed. I wanted a lot of the cheese nerfed. I know they touched Mountaintop, which is good, but
Let's
definitely
go,
not
baby.
enough for
Hey,
me.
hey.
But
Run him up.
anyway, the next thing they talked
Run
about
him
is the
up.
nerfing of auto rifles. I touched on it. I think they should have touched the range or the stability, or once it gets 15, 20 meters out, the bullets start to outline bodies instead of be straight laser headshots. Auto rifles need to be harder to use at range. You need to control the recoil, have a little bit of skill. They need to be less forgiving. Body shot damage should be lowered. You should have to hit headshots with auto rifles with the TZK they have. Just something, man. Give us something. But they're nerfing damage a little bit. I mean, come on, man. Auto rifles, they're spray and pray. Taking the damage down a little bit won't really change much. But we'll see how it plays. And then the last thing is sniper rifles. I just once again, sniper rifles are like hand cannons. They just keep getting nerfed. I main sniper. It's kind of exhausting, honestly. Revoker is cheese, man. It should not be in the game. Thank God it's being sunset. Um, Revoker's also, I mean, Beloved's also being sunset. I think that's the big enough nerf to snipers, but messing with aim
Nasty
assist,
time.
on the
Nasty
scopes,
time.
nothing too crazy. But at the same time, man, I just can't believe that Arbalest is out here, the best sniper in the game. Arbalest with 100 aim assist is not being nerfed, but snipers in total are. Like you know, I, I don't know what's going on in the PvP department, man, but these are just my opinions about the way anyway. So who says I'm right? I just only played this for 5 years straight for a living. But anyway, guys, that's my opinions, man. Honestly, I'm sure I sound drained because I am drained just thinking about this and just thinking about how Destiny's been over the past few months and the year or so. It's been very mentally exhausting, very draining. And reading this TWAB drained the hell out of me. And going back through the TWAB and making this video
Let me
drained the
get
hell out of me. But
those. Let me get those. Give me those. Give me
um,
those.
not gonna make any crazy predictions like the
Oh
Crucible's gonna be
shit.
dead or the game's gonna be terrible or PvP's gonna be terrible. The DLC's no, I'm not gonna say anything like that. I personally just to sum this up, man. I wish they didn't delete 150s. I wish they had nerfed autos a little bit more. I wish they had nerfed sidearms, Bastion, Arbalist, or if they didn't want to, I wish they would have buffed hand cannons and buffed other weapons and pulses and stuff like that maybe to compete with autos and compete with sidearms, and maybe make 140s two head one body. Just if you want autos to be OP and all these things to be OP, do the D1 method where everything was OP. I think it was a lot more fun than just watering everything down. Now, some weapons should not be in the game, like Bastion shouldn't even be in the game, right? Pocket Infinity was in the game, and they didn't know how to balance it, even with all those crazy weapons. So what did they do? They just completely stopped bringing it up. They stopped letting you infuse it up to higher levels. They just left it in year 1, and no one could ever use it in the trials for year 2 or 3. Like, it was complete. They just didn't know what to do. That's how Bastion should be. But what did they do? They brought Bastion back, which is basically Pocket Infinity. Anyway, I don't want to get too ranty. That's it, man. That's all I had to say, guys. You know, normally I'm excited for a DLC. I'm not even slightly excited because the Sandbox didn't, reading it didn't, nothing excited me. I'm hoping that they held some stuff back. Hopefully, there's more in-depth details. Maybe they nerf more, to get boosted damage on 140s or something. But it doesn't look like it. Hopefully, the range buff on the hand cannons makes them very viable as 140s. But other than that, man, you guys will be seeing an updated video from me probably the first or second day of the DLC. I'll play a lot of Crucible, and I will let you guys know how hand cannons feel, how autos feel, snipers, this, that, and the other. But anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. This your boy Bros. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like, drop a comment, and also, in the comments, let me know your opinions on the TWAB and how you think the PvP is gonna play. All right, you guys have a great one.